You had said something, or I think it was in the picture you showed me. They have the weapons are like somewhat energy based.
Yeah, I think it might have been Raph and Leo.
Yeah.
Yeah, from what I saw, I think Raph has some kind of energy based weapon.
Yeah.
He threw away the size, which is I don't know. I feel like they're just trying to be edgy.
Yeah, that's like his his iconic weapon.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking to do with that, really.
Yeah, I'm not a really big fan of the energy type of weapons. I really like the old fashioned kind of ninja style, just metal, steel weapons. But
because they still have to remember the name and where they kind of come from, because then it's almost defeating their purpose, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, Ninja Turtles. I don't know.
We'll see.
That has yet to be seen, I guess, whether that's worth it. Did you check out that article about James Mangold, director of Logan, basically slamming how our culture has become dependent on post-credit scenes?
No, I actually saw that article, but I didn't get a chance to read it. I was kind of skimming through a bunch of stuff, but I'm interested to hear what he said about it.
Yeah, he basically was just saying how he thinks that it's sad that these films have to put these kind of scenes at the end of their movie, pretty much forcing you to go watch another movie, trying to make the movie that you're in or coming to the end too of that movie, basically saying that it's that their movie probably sucks and that they're trying to suck you in with the next tease. And it sucks that that's what it seems like everybody's really into, just waiting for that, that end sequence, because they're still not satisfied with the movie that they're paying for.
Yeah, and I think that's something that kind of Marvel really embraced, that type of post-credit scene. I mean, that's what everyone expects to see now. Even when it's not a Marvel movie, I don't know. A lot of people were expecting stuff to happen for what was it, Wonder Woman, but they actually did it in Justice League. But I think that kind of sucks, because you're kind of like, it almost feels like you're the movie you just watched maybe isn't completely finished, and there's something else to tell about this, or a continuation of the story you just watched.
Yeah, I could totally see where Mangold is coming from with, or why he's frustrated with that. I know he definitely doesn't put anything toward the end, and I feel like he thinks films should stand alone and leave you wanting more, as opposed to just kind of forcing your hand to basically commit to go to watch something else.
Yeah, because you kind of feel obligated.
Mm-hmm. Because they're throwing something at you when you're already experiencing one concept, and they're like, oh, by the way, this is also connected, so you got to go see this too. So in a way, it's like a brainwashing you, which is kind of weird now thinking about that.
Yeah.
Do I have anything else? I have the some video game news.
Oh yeah.
The Peterson case, which is a new game set in 1947, and it follows a detective looking into the disappearance of a family near the Roswell crash.
Oh, that sounds pretty interesting, man.
Yeah, it's it'll be interesting to see where that goes, or how the gameplay is going to look. It definitely feels and looks like it's going to be creepy. And what an interesting backdrop for a video game, right? That's perfect.
Yeah, man. Because
there's a lot of unanswered questions, obviously, surrounding that supposed UFO crash landing, right?
Yeah, that'd be pretty. It sounds like it might be a pretty epic game. It might be pretty cool.
Yeah, they can spin it any way that they would want. I think that's it for the news. So we're gonna move on to our weekly Recs.
All right.
And now it's time for the weekly recommendations.
Okay, go, James.
Now I have two actually weekly recs for this week. My first one is The Greatest Showman with Hugh Jackman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, me and
wild card.
Yeah, it's a wild card, man. I was actually interested in this movie when I first saw the trailer. It looked pretty cool to me. I didn't really know it was so much. Had so much of a musical, aspect to the movie, but I kind of figured there was going to be some type because I know Hugh Jackman likes to perform, in Broadway and stuff like that, and I know he's done musicals. Surprisingly entertaining. The music's pretty catchy. I think it's all original music, and it has a really good kind of like a learning. You kind of learn a little bit about the way society is, and you can relate to this movie a lot. How sometimes people look a little different, or they're not socially accepted, but just from the way they look or the way they appear, and you can't always judge people by the way they look, or how they. There's a bearded lady and people are afraid of her.
Yeah, or how they present themselves.
Yeah, and there's a guy with tattoos all over his body and his face, and people are freaked out. They're like, "Oh, he's a monster. He's a demon or something." But he's a normal guy, and it's a pretty cool movie. I would definitely check it out if you're into that kind of thing, or if you're not, check it out anyways, and you might like it.
Cool. The Greatest Showman, right? That's the title?
Yes.
All right, cool.
And my next one is a Netflix original series. It is called Altered Carbon with Joel Kinnaman.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited to check this out. I haven't got a chance to yet, but I believe the hype. And now,
yeah, man.
Yeah, I got to believe you too, right?
Yeah, I really enjoyed this series, and it's just one series. It's one season right now, and I think they're planning on doing a second one. But the best way to describe it is probably maybe like a Blade Runner type of future, where kind of the rich are always more powerful than the poor. Kind of the way the show goes is you get this little disc implanted into your spine when you are 1 year old, and that kind of captures your. It starts basically recording your memory and your basically everything that makes you who you are. And say you die or something, or you get killed, you can replace your body with another body. They call them sleeves, and you kind of just take over. You take your chip and put it in that body, and the rich people kind of have the best bodies, the best upgrades and stuff like that, and the poor people are kind of just left to fend for themselves, and most of them don't get another body if they die. They kind of some people just store their little chips in case they find a body or something, and it's pretty interesting, man. I like you do really get that Blade Runner feel to. I want to say that's kind of maybe an inspiration that they pulled from. But it's a really awesome show, and I highly recommend it. I'm only 5 episodes in, and I think there's 12 episodes per season.
Okay.
But so I'm a little less than halfway, but I really recommend it, and I really like this show so far. So definitely check it out. They also some maybe potential spoilers for the show, but I mean it's not really. But the main actor Joel Kinnaman, he was interviewed and they asked him about if he was coming back for another season, and he said that he's not really sure because the way this show is shot and the way they do it is any actor can really take over a character, because they can replace those chips or whatever. And so if someone dies this season, next season they can come back, but with a totally different face and a totally different person.
Yeah, that's an interesting concept. Being able to pretty much reinvent your cast whatever you like,
Yeah, it's a really cool way to keep the show from getting maybe stale. Or and I think the actor, he kind of said that it would end up being kind of like a Doctor Who-esque type of way how they kind of recycle or just exchange the main character for another main character. But I'm pretty interested to see how this season plays out. So hopefully you guys check it out.
Yeah, well, very interested in that. So, mine is King of New York. It's my film rec. It's starring Christopher Walken, Lawrence Fishburne, and David Caruso, along with Wesley Snipes, who is actually in our main focus for tonight.
Yes.
I thought this would be an interesting pick because it is also a very classic gangster picture, and it kind of pits Wesley Snipes in the basically the roles are reversed. So in New Jack City, which we're going to get into in a minute, he is a kind of notorious drug kingpin, pretty much. And in King of New York, he is the cop going after the kingpin.
Oh, a twist.
So, you guys should check this out, especially if you're a Christopher Walken fan. It's some of his, earlier work. It's got some great performances. I really love this movie. You should check it out. It's called King of New York. And for my TV recommendation, since they're about to drop Jessica Jones Season 2, I'm going to recommend Season 1 because I feel like this show is pretty good and often overlooked because it really kind of relies more on character development, and it's very driven by its characters rather than the action because, of course, she is a detective and struggles with, kind of human nature and whatnot. And I really like this show, and I'm curious to see if they're going to be able to pull off Season 2 with the fall of, what is it called? People not liking the Defenders, and I feel like the Punisher is the only thing that people have been really drawn to. So I'm curious to see how Jessica Jones will be received. So that's my TV rec for this week.
Nice.
Catch up with Jessica Jones if you haven't already.
Yeah.
And I guess that's going to move us in finally to our movie focus.
Oh, yeah.
3, 2, 1. And now for the movie focus of the week.
All right. So our movie focus is New Jack City. It's rated R. It was released in 1991. It's pretty much a thriller. It runs at 1 hour and 41 minutes. It's got a 77 on Rotten Tomatoes. It was made for a budget of $8 million and grossed over $47 million. Starring Wesley Snipes, Ice-T, a.k.a. Tracy Merrow, I believe his real name is, Chris Rock, Alan Payne, Mario Van Peebles, and Judd Nielsen, who is from Breakfast Club, correct?
Yes.
It's basically a game of cat and mouse between a growing crime syndicate and the narcotics police, set during the backdrop of the crack epidemic, which was